how many patriots there were right here. They never even considered doing bad things to America. The Heartland's an amazing place. I'm so proud to retire here and be amongst you guys. I've got a great speech written down for you, but I'm not a speech guy. I'm a gunfighter. So I'm going to try and work my way through this. You guys are all touching me already, and please bear with me. First of all, I want to say good morning. Thank you for being the patriots you are. Thank you for coming out here to support. To the youngsters in the back, I want to say thank you. Thank you for those that brought you. One of the missions of Wreaths Across America is to teach. You're being taught. There's heroes amongst you. Learn about them, listen to them, and don't forget. As I said, my name's Ronnie Swegger, and I'm humbled and honored to be in front of you today. It was an honor just to be invited, and I'm already a little teared up just seeing how far these veterans are willing to go to honor other veterans. It's amazing. It warms my heart every time I witness concerned Americans, patriots, veterans, actively supporting other veterans. To those of you that work diligently to make this event come together, to make it such a success, thank you. There's a lot of moving parts behind this that I can only imagine. This observance today was born of compassion and empathy. It is a gesture of healing, reconciliation, and respect in a time overshadowed by enduring conflict. Today is a time for Americans to reconnect with their history and the values of honoring and remembering those who willingly and literally faced death for the freedom and ideals we as Americans cherish. More than 1 million American warriors have died in the wars and conflicts that this nation has fought since the first colonial soldiers took up arms to fight for our independence. Each person who has died during those conflicts was a loved one, cherished by family and friends. Each was a loss to their family, their community, to their nation. But nonetheless, they were a savior to our liberty. You here at this event exhibit the true meaning of honor and remembrance. You respect our fallen simply by your presence. You understand that today we honor the ideals and values those warriors willingly stood for and died defending. I want to thank you because today you also honor my friends, my brothers in arms that have a slab of marble to call their own. Sadly today, unless a family member or a friend has served or is serving, there's often an unfortunate disconnect between the American people and its military. The most obvious reason for this is because less than 1% of Americans serve in the armed forces. Remind the protected 99% to remember the 1, please. Some of you are aware of the challenges involved in reconnecting the American people with the military and its heroes. You may have encountered some ignorance and apathy towards veterans issues. You may have wondered what you as an individual or a small community could do about it. This is what you can do about it. Participate, remember, act. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." Simply by being here today, you are doing something. But you are not forgetting the sacrifices of our defenders. But there is more that you can do. Allow me to share with you what I'm doing. Although many Americans have died while fighting for this great nation, millions more have survived, and they live among us. Many of those surviving warfighters are still battling today, many with debilitating and physical and mental wounds. Many of these veterans believe that their sacrifice was in vain and has been forgotten. This belief is the beginning of the end. Sadly, the battles after war are still too much for some of these veterans. Nearly 22 heroes every day seek relief through death by their own hand. I can personally assure you that death is not the answer. Living is. As tough as living may be at times, and we've all been there, as tough as living may be, Living is healing. And I believe, no, I know I've lived it, that living life to its fullest is the only way to truly honor those that have sacrificed their tomorrows for our todays. Losing friends and brothers unnecessarily is crushing to the entire nation, and it must be changed. Remembrance honors the fallen, but it can doom the living. Survivors need to be active and engaged. So after years of volunteering with veterans to mitigate the suicide epidemic, I discovered avoid and aftercare for veterans that came from a similar unit like mine. We call them Exceptional Warriors. A group of Green Berets and I, we founded the Foundation for Exceptional Warriors, known as the FEW. And we use outdoor activities to reach, recognize, and refresh this unique breed of warriors. They're the Special Operations Forces, those that have received awards for valor, prisoners of war, and those wounded in combat. The FEW assists these exceptional warriors regardless of branch, regardless of era. Doesn't matter when they served. But although we have a pecking order there, we turn no veterans away. Our outdoor events keep these men active, these men and women. They keep them active and engaged. They give them things to look forward to. They give them accomplishments. In the last 2 months alone, we've had 100 warriors and their family members in the Heartland. And the Heartland is healing within itself, as you guys know. We've had 100 warriors from 18 states, 18 different states here in the Heartland, just in the last 60 days. We're a small organization with a national-wide mission that everyone can get involved with. The scale allows opportunities for everyone. We in this country owe a great debt to those who sacrifice so that we could live free. We can begin to pay that debt by remembering the falling, but assisting the living. We would welcome your support in joining the Foundation for Exceptional Warriors so that we could continue to close that gap in aftercare. Because you are here today, I know that all of you are patriots. And you are making a difference today in a veteran's life. Simply by being here, you're making a difference. But I urge you to continue to make a difference. And as you leave today, I challenge you to multiply your efforts. Veterans and their families deserve the very best we have. As a protected society, we can provide more, and I ask that you do that. I ask that you join a cause, and join Wreaths Across America. There's a million organizations out there, and many of you are already involved. Reach out. Don't just remember, act. Save the veterans we have that are still there, and remember those that have fallen. I would like to leave you with Proverbs 3:27. Do not withhold good when it is in your power to act. When I came up here, I told you I was a gunfighter. I'm an action guy. America was bred from action. We didn't get our independence by standing still. I ask all of you, go out there and act. Save the world one warrior at a time, one person in need at a time. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless America.
Thank you, Ronnie, very much. That was outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal ceremony. Please stand as you can as we retire the colors. And before you go to honor our fallen, we ask that you wait for a few minutes after the colors have been retired for an announcement from James Smith. So once the colors are retired, then we'll have somebody come up forward and they'll give you some instructions for the laying of the wreaths. Color guard, retire the colors. James Smith is the Director of International Transportation at Walmart Stores Incorporated. And he's going to give you some details here about how we're going to lay the wreaths out. But before he does that, I'd like Mr. Rupp to come forward. I think he has something for James.
Oh, yeah, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may not know, Wreaths Across America has been in existence 7, 8 years, Dave?
Well, it's about 9 now.
Okay. And every year that we've held it here at Fayetteville National Cemetery, we've had 100% wreath coverage. We are the only cemetery in America who can make that claim. There are 131 national cemeteries in America, and yet Fayetteville is the only one who can make that claim. And we can do that on behalf of many of our corporate sponsors and family friends, but in particular one corporation, Walmart. Jim, would you come up here and accept this plaque and I'll read it? The Department of Veterans Affairs, the Certificate of Appreciation is presented to the Walmart Transportation Division and the Walmart Foundation for their special services rendered and continued support during the Wreaths Across America program that promotes the promise to remember, honor, and teach, and for their unwavering support of the Northwest Arkansas veterans and their families and Fayetteville National Cemetery. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Walmart.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And once again, thank you, Tom, for that honor, and I'll bring that back and pass that along and thank all the folks that helped and were involved in that. Also, thank you, Major Myers. Good morning. It's a great part to be part of a community like Northwest Arkansas, a family that values the service and sacrifice of our nation's military and their families. Today, I am humbled to have the opportunity to speak with you, and I want to offer my heartfelt thanks to you for being a part of today's ceremony. As you may know, it's Wreaths Across America's solemn desire to place a memorial wreath on the gravesite of every veteran laid to rest worldwide. This task is not easily accomplished. Consider that since 1776, close to 51 million men and women have served the United States in uniform. Close to 80,000 of those heroes pass away each year, and just over 4 million are laid to rest in national cemeteries just like this one worldwide. These are big numbers, and remembering them cannot happen without patriotic people like you. This community does a tremendous job remembering our nation's finest men and women. This year, Wreaths Across America is sponsoring over 900 ceremonies at cemeteries across the globe. Today, an army of close to 300,000 volunteers will place just over 750,000 wreaths in ceremonies just like this one from Afghanistan to Arlington. Wreaths Across America's mission is to remember, honor, and teach. Remember the fallen, honor those that serve in their families, teach our children the value of freedom. Thanks again to the many groups that made today possible, and thanks again to all of you for being here. The bottom line as we depart to lay the memorial wreaths, please remember just one thing. Today is not about Wreaths Across America, Walmart, or any other group. It's about honor. Honoring the sacrifices and selfless service of the brave, and more often than not, very young men and women who willingly stand up and put themselves in harm's way to protect the values and way of life we all enjoy in the United States. We owe them our unwavering gratitude. I now have the task of dividing this big group into 6 smaller groups to help place the wreaths. There are 6 section leaders throughout the cemetery that will help in that process. They are wearing or holding up an orange vest so that you can easily identify them. Prior to the distribution of the wreaths, each group will have a presentation on how to properly lay the wreaths. There is also an order of priority for people to get wreaths. First is family members of loved ones laid to rest here. Please be patient as they honor their veteran first. Next, all veterans. Finally, the remainder of volunteers. Remember, it is not a race. Place the wreaths with honor. Please move to one of those 6 locations now, and thank you once again for being here and making a difference.